Any minute. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing before you now is the work of three individuals who have a common love for the art, which is anime. Not only the anime, manga, but just the whole shebang when it comes to that. So this was something that's been in the work. I remember I tried to launch this podcast back in 2020. One man anime show is not, I guess, ideal. So
Man.
having some dialogue, go figure, makes the show better.
Uh-huh.
But I am joined here by Deontay the Giant from SNN, and also from SNN, my man Kimpachi, the anime guru. You see the tagline in there, and that is not a false statement, ladies and gentlemen. My man has put in work. And what you have here is a joint effort between DFPN and Saturday Night Nerds entitled Eat the Cake Anime from it's a little play on words from the Ike Turner, Tina Turner type thing, but
Yeah.
none of that violent stuff here unless it's hands being thrown in the anime here. So we'll get into the intro. We'll come back. I'll let these guys talk and introduce themselves a little bit more, and then we'll get to talking about some anime. So sit back and enjoy. Whew. All right. So first of all I did was throw them little splashes at the end in the Eat the Cake anime. The video was actually cut, or just several cuts from YouTuber Trumpy GFX. I hit them up and asked them if it was cool if I borrowed their video for a bit. They said 100%. So at the end of the show, I'll make sure I'll tag their YouTube channel here. Make sure to go and subscribe. They do like they have several anime cuts from different emotions. There's one for anger, there's one for heroic moments. So make sure to stop by their YouTube channel when you get the chance, and give them a follow, a subscribe, all that good stuff. What's up, Blake, in the comments, man?
Mr.
I hear
Hickman.
you. Yes. Mr. Hickman in here says he can't say much on anime, but here for the support. Hey, we appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you get to learn something by watching. That's our goal here. But like I said, I got the two gentlemen here from SNN. We'll let Deontay go first, and then Kampacha, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks as well.
Yes, sir. What's good, y'all? This is Deontay Giant back again. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been on screen for any content. I think the last time we went live for anything, it was probably back in like March. Uh, but as far as war goes, like we had a series called SNN War, hosted by Kimpachi himself. It's been a while since we did an episode on that too.
Yes, it has.
think it had to that might have been like March, the last time we did a stream on that.
I think so.
Yes, we covered a lot of good anime in that time frame, and there's a new season of anime that's dropping now. It's a lot of bangers are out. New seasons of all of our favorite shows are back. Uh, I'm watching Mushoku Tensei, Demon Slayer, uh, and a couple other classes that came back this summer. So I'm really having a good time with the series.
Awesome. All right, Kenpachi, real quick. Probably one of the toughest anime characters in all of anime, from probably my favorite anime series, Kenpachi from Blood. How did you settle on that as your moniker? Because I don't, at this point, I don't even need to know your government name, your real name. Like, you were always Kenpachi to me, man. How did you come up and settle on that one there?
Man, like I've always felt the connection to Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach. Just like his attitude, I've always loved it. Like the fact that he wore his hair like he did and kept the bells on the end of the strands of hair and the eye patch that sucked up like half his reishi, so that he was always letting them know where he was. He couldn't sneak up on you even if he wanted to. And if he was having this patch that had parasites in it that sucked away his reishi, so that hopefully you have the upper hand, and then he's still gonna whoop your ass.
I'm still gonna whoop that ass.
It's just like ever since I watched the anime, I didn't. It was one of the first times I was watching anime, and I thought Ichigo shouldn't have won this. Like the MC should not have won this fight. That's just plot armor.
Right.
And it's only as thick as the writer's lead, man. Kenpachi gonna take you the next time, Ichigo. Don't fuck with that man.
At all.
He's lucky he's on his side.
And then I started using it for a game, and then somebody found a picture on DeviantArt that was a zombie version of a zombified Kenpachi, and that was my avatar forever. I've still got the picture. Like, it's just amazing. And I actually, normally my name in games was Kenpachi Gold. Gold stood for Guild of the Living Dead, because I'm a zombie fan as well. Love zombies, George Romero, back to all of his movies, and some of the remakes are good, but I love World War Z. Like, I mean, I just, zombies have always kind of been my horror thing. Some people want them beautiful vampires or them furries or whatever, but
yeah, you got a good balance of like zombies and anime in there.
That's kind of what it was,
I could think of worse things to kind of have an affinity to, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, not to keep you all waiting. Like we talked about, let's get into probably one of the bigger anime to hit in a while, not just in Japan, but the craze, the kind of renaissance of the Western world falling back in love with anime probably has a lot to do with this one series. Demon Slayer came back out in on the animated side, I believe, in 2017. You go back through here and check my notes here.
2019.
Yeah, 2016 is when the manga started. Yep, 2019 is when the anime came on air. But like we talked about, let's get into kind of figuring out the behind the scenes, what led to the creation of the manga, and find out a little bit more about the creator there in our segment, Creating the Manga. So I'm gonna just apologize in advance, and if any of you two gentlemen can pronounce these names the correct way, if you hear me pronounce it wrong, please do, because I do not want to be going on around the world making it seem like I don't want to pronounce these names right. I'm an American. All I speak is English. I love watching sub. I wish I could say I wish. Oh my god,
man.
I'm Duolingoing. I'm Duolingoing, trying to get my Japanese up, but we'll see. So like we talked about, it was created by Koyoharu Gotoge.
I believe that's right.
Okay, thank you. I told you, Duolingo. Sponsor us. We got you. Yep. So the manga was serialized from February of 2016 all the way to May 2020. So it ran for 4 years, and kind of when it was wrapping up, the manga is when they picked it up for the animated series. But I know myself, probably like most people, I was unaware of the actual manga until the show came out. So after watching a couple episodes of the show, I went and logged into my Shonen Jump account and started binging the manga immediately. So I don't know if you gentlemen knew about it before the anime adaptation came out, but how did you guys come across this amazing story?
Man, I think 2019, like a week after it debuted on Hulu, I was literally watching it because every new episode dropped on Saturdays, and I was able to catch like episode 1 and 2 by like the second week, and I was just hooked ever since. And I was like, "Yo, what is the source material behind this?" And then I hopped online. I found like some pirate sites to let me read the manga, and the manga was so good that I like made it all the way to like the Swordsmith Village arc in like 1 week. I was blazing through it. The manga was so damn good. I felt like I had to tell more people about this, so I got on Facebook immediately. You're like, "Hey, y'all need to check out Demon Slayer. I won't recommend anything else to you guys until you see this series." and it's been on ever since.
Cool.
Jeez.
I'll be honest. I'm sort of similar to that. I actually heard about it about a week before, or a week or two before it started. Used to watch For Never News. I don't know if y'all ever watched him or not, but he talked about it and talked about the manga, and I still have not to this day picked up the manga and read it. I'm gonna wait till I watch the anime all the way through. Since I started with the anime, I'm gonna stay anime only till I get done, and then I'll go back and read the manga, see how much better it is than the anime was. I read a lot of manga, but this is just one that I don't know why. I think it was that at the time I was reading a lot of series, and so I was like, I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it later. And then now that it's as far as it is into the anime, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait till it's over, and then I'll read it afterwards. I love reading manga, and like generally read anywhere from 4 to 7 a month, as far as different titles go. But yeah, at the time I just had a lot on my plate, and so I didn't pick it up. But that doesn't stop me from loving the series when it came out. It was amazing. I've known about Ufotable for years. I actually remember them from when Fate Zero came out, and I loved that series, and that absolutely drew me into Type Moon, which they did Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. So I knew about them already, so I knew the animation was going to be there, and they haven't stopped. They just keep putting out bangers. Everything that they put out is really beautiful. I had some issues with some of the things from last season, but like everything aside from like one single thing, like everything else in the season was beautiful. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's some damn fish. Okay, them damn CGI fish. What the hell did they do that for? Just wanted to make me mad. They're like, we're gonna make you mad. But everything else has been beautiful. Like some always like top notch animation. They are so like there's just no taken away. The story's great. You've got a really like a lot of character development that goes on between the different characters, from Tanjiro to Inosuke, just the whole crew. Everybody builds. It's really cool because they have the mentors, but they never like a lot of series go really deep and hard into the mentors, whereas that's not they talk about them a little bit, but you really get the story of the main characters in this, and I like that they kind of center on them and don't veer off too much into other avenues with it. So.
Yeah, I agree, and it's one of those stories where if you watch a lot of anime and you watch a lot of shonen, I guess the plot, you can insert generic protagonists. Within the first couple of episodes, something terrible happens, and then it's a quest for that protagonist to continue their journey, getting stronger and stronger until they meet, their antagonists and battle it out to save X, right?
Yeah.
It is a formula that seems to work until the end of time, because I think deep down everybody just wants to know that, the good guys, if you try hard enough, you'll overcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the creator, Koyoharu, when people ask them if what's your inspiration, every time they have an interview, they are pretty much tight-lipped on a whole lot of the creative process of Demon Slayer. And from what I've researched and what I've seen, this is the only manga, the only story that they worked on and wrote and illustrated. They didn't do anything else. But they're on record saying that they drew inspiration from the setting based on traditional Japanese history and folklore, which you can tell like if you watch the show, but definitely in the manga you can tell it's very I don't know if I'm using it right, like feudal Japan. You don't see any samurai or anything, but the way they are held to using their swords and the respect they have for their swords, and the care they take for them. Like Deontay said in one of the arcs, there's a whole village that they hide the members so they can keep creating these special swords because they're the only things that can fight off these demons. So I think she drew a lot of this stuff from there. Also, they said that they were influenced by their own personal experiences and emotions in creating the story, which I can definitely can feel via reading and watching it. But Deontay, like as you were reading through the manga, and it's going to be weird because you're trying to balance, because there's a whole section where we'll get on the anime and sing the praises of Ufotable and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of the CGI fish, which by the way, Kenpachi, in the book they look way better in the manga. So when you read the manga, you'll probably be like, "Oh, this is better." Like,
They should have done that.
so if you needed any extra, selling on manga, the fish look better in the manga. But if you want to, Deontay, speak on kind of the emotions you were getting while reading, because you said you saw a couple episodes, but then you read ahead, like some of the emotional things that we don't want to get, spoil and get rid of. But were you like reading the manga like, oh my god, I can't believe it type stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what it was that like drew me in, but like the way that they handled breaking down each character one by one. We see in like the very first episode that Tanjiro goes through a tragedy, and they make sure that like they establish like Tanjiro has this very strong bond with his siblings and his mom. I think his dad too. Yeah, his dad was there, so he had a strong bond with everybody. And then the main big bad of the series, Muzan Kibusuji, I believe it's pronounced. It's the
Michael
demon that
Jackson.
slays him. Yeah, smooth criminal himself.
Sure.
Yeah, he even puts his blood, or he uses his blood to transform Nezuko, which is Tanjiro's younger sister, into a demon, and she fights the urge from eating innocent people so bad. And Tanjiro is just like, yo, I want to change her back into a human again. That's my goal for this series. And he goes so hard about it. And Tanjiro is definitely one of my favorite protagonists of all time. He would probably be like top 10 for me compared to other Shonen Jump heroes. He's a genuine guy. He's very pure and he's innocent, doesn't know like a lot of crazy stuff that everybody else is talking about around him. He's just like, oh, what y'all mean by that? And he's also like a high battle IQ swordsman. So when he gets into combat, he's able to just figure out a strategy to take down his opponent every time. And it's just like it's kind of standard shonen stuff, and it's still fun to watch anyway.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love this show. It's so much to get excited about, and we're getting into some of the craziest arcs going forward from here.
Yeah. So Kenpachi, I know you haven't read the manga, but as you're watching the show, do you also feel kind of the emotional pull that the creator was trying to go for with the story?
Oh, absolutely. Like you can, as Deontay mentioned, you can feel his attachment to his family, and honestly, his attachment to humanity in general. I mean, when those kids are in their, and maybe this would be dropping a little bit of a spoiler, but in something that happens, there's some kids that are in their dreams that are trying to hurt them, and he's genuinely, when one of them, something happens to one of them in those dream states, he's like really hurt by that. He feels really bad because he wasn't able to save the person that was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Batman. Let's go. All right. But I mean, that is just absolutely like the emotional pull that he's got there. On top of that, like the connection to that the three main demon slayers that we follow felt to Rengoku. Like that was a strong emotion right there. And then like they were like, I think all three of them shed tears at one point there. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's a lot. Even when you like, it's a different kind of emotion. But you look at and I'm gonna forget his name, the Lightning Kid.
Zenitsu. Yeah.
What was it again?
Zenitsu.
Zenitsu, that's it. Thank you. He is falling in love with Nezuko, and like that's really like that's cool. And it's funny because you see Tanjiro is all like, "What?" Like, he doesn't understand this. You what, my sister?
Right.
He doesn't get it. Like that whole innocence and naivete, it just comes out of him. It really does. He exudes that all over every time he's speaking about anything. He's so oblivious to everything going on. It really makes his character endearing. Like you can't help but root for him. I also wanted to point out something else, just like because we're talking about the manga, and like I said, I haven't read it, so it's kind of hard to have a lot to talk about the manga. So I thought that I would throw this out there. I did a little research myself today, and Demon Slayers broke some records. Did you guys know that?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and share that data.
Well, this one isn't a record, but Kimetsu no Yaiba accumulated over $8.7 billion. That's 1 trillion yen as of 2020 in revenue. So by 2020, they had already made $8.7 billion.
4 years ago, it was at 8. 4 years ago, 8 billion?
Yes. And it looks like, okay, there it goes. I'm unfrozen now. Kimetsu no Yaiba is one of the highest sold manga per volume at 6.5 million copies per volume.
That's
when
crazy.
they put all the chapters together into a volume. There's 23 volumes released. Each of those volumes sells 6.5 million copies.
Man, come on.
The manga was the fastest ever to break 100 million copies in circulation on a short amount of time. And I mean, you say short, but 4 years and 7 months. It's the fastest time for anybody to get 100 million copies in circulation.
Yeah, I was looking like
go ahead.
The data you have there is crazy, because the data I looked up real quick is I'm looking at, like manga that have at least sold 1 million copies and above. Obviously One Piece is at the top. It's still going on to this day.
Right.
But it's been 1997 is when that one appeared on the scene. What you said as far as this thing coming out in 2016 and ending in I'm just in the game for a 4-year quick and then I'm out. But within those 4 years to grow as far as it did, it's number 7 on the all-time. Number 7 on all-time. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's number 7 all time when it comes to the sales of the manga. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it about? Like, I think the anime probably helped that, because like I said, over here, you go to a Barnes and Noble now, or any spot that really sells manga in the physical copy, if you're not getting it online or reading it through the app, like they stay sold out on that. Like you go there, look for Demon Slayer, it's gone. So I feel the anime kind of helped that, but before it even came to the States, like it was selling out in Japan. So like the Japanese felt something about this thing to the point where and we'll kind of segue into getting to the anime portion, but when that movie dropped over there, granted it was during COVID, so taking a chance to drop a movie in the theater was a risk, because you lose money advertising and stuff, because nobody's getting tickets to go and potentially get sick from COVID. The money it made over there was ridiculous. So then the company's like, let's try a worldwide release, and we'll get into the gross and all that. But it did gangbusters, ladies and gentlemen. Like, spoiler alert, it was like the number 1 grossing movie for 2020. Made over 500 million worldwide. So
I have something up here. It is the first anime movie to break the 500 million barrier. Closest is Spirited Away at 395 million.
That's crazy.
According to Sharabiz, a database for character licensing in Japan, this Demon Slayer is the best franchise of 2020, surpassing other well-known franchises such as Anpun Man, Pokemon, the Mickey Mouse, and the Snoopy franchises in 2020. It beat Pokemon and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, Peanuts and Pond Man, whatever. I mean, Peanuts, I love Peanuts, but I don't think, like, Snoopy ain't been big since I was a kid.
Nah, it's been a while for me.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I tried, like, many years to get my kids to watch, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, all them things. And my kids were like, no, Dad. No.
Boring.
But
Jen's in the comments. Pokemon. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kampachi.
I was going to say, Pokemon and Mickey Mouse blew me away when I read that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, if anything is outselling Pokemon, it's it's doing gangbusters. You're doing something right. Jen mentioned a part of what she feels like why people are gravitating to this story in this series is the relationship between the brother and sister, which I think you both talked about, the links at what Tanjiro is willing to go through to save his sister. But I feel it's like, this is the only family I have left, right? there have been numerous people in the series like, bro, your sister's a demon. She got to go. And this man is like, you know, she's cool. I'm keeping her in this box. She ain't doing nothing. I'm trying to find a cure. Just help me. I'll do whatever. Like, I'll learn whatever I need to do. And I'll, you know, like, help me save my sister. And I think that, like, Jen, you might be right on that. Cause like, I'm looking at this thing like, when his sister didn't attack him, and she could have, like, this whole series could have been done in one chapter of the manga, right? Credits, you know, like, oh, credits.
Yeah.
Something about her, she held back. And I think that is the thing people are trying to realize, because like you said, old buddy did use his blood that he's used on multiple demons, and they're all evil, and there's something within her that is giving her the ability to stop that. But we've delayed long enough. I think it's time for us to talk about the beautiful anime rendition of this show and talk about the gangbuster numbers that it is doing. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the anime adaptation. So if you are not aware, and we haven't told you, my man Kenpachi has been doing deep dives on animation studios for the longest. He sent me some of the write-ups he's done, and they're so detailed, and I'm just like, why haven't you published a book or anything? But I will sit back and kind of let you introduce the people to the wonderful company animation studio that is Ufotable, who is responsible for this amazing work of art.
You know, when I was researching it, I found something that I found kind of interesting is that they weren't founded until October of 2000, so they're a relatively new production company, which is really cool. They're based in Shinjuku, Tokyo, which, if anybody follows anything, Shinjuku is like that alternative part of town. Like, there's some alleys you just don't want to walk down, and that's where like a lot of the what do they call them? The delinquent fights in some of the other popular anime. That's a popular town that they Tokyo Revengers. Shinjuku's one that they go to a lot. It is a popular city in anime just in general. I mentioned it earlier. They did Type Moon. They did a couple of those. They also did the Tales series. I don't know if anybody watched some Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Zestria came out a few years ago. That was absolutely one of my favorite short anime series. It was 24 episodes and it was over. And it built this character from, a little village kid to the most powerful hero in history or something. So,
man,
yes, delinquents, our people. Something else they're known for is working with Bandai Namco. They did the God Eater series.
Yep.
So that was based on a video game. A lot of the early stuff they did, nobody's going to really know, but they did get known for, in a lot of those, they added a claymation sequence. Oh. I never noticed it in any of the ones that I watched, but I thought that was pretty interesting. It's going to make me want to go back and watch some of these older ones. I mean, I want to watch something called Ninja Nonsense anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I saw that on the list. I'm just like, I got to check that out.
Right. I tried to watch the Garden of Sinners series. I did not get into it. It is another one of those series that is based on time jumps, and I can only handle so much of that. ReZero is about, ReZero and Tokyo Revengers, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But I mean, their big thing has definitely been the Demon Slayer series. They have been coming out with that. I really like the way that they have chosen to do the movies. I the way they did Mugen Train, where they had the movie come out and then they put it as the episodes. I thought at first I was like, I feel like I'm getting gypped. But then they took those episodes and they added extra scenes in each
Yep.
episode, and then you had the extra episode at the end that gave you a whole nother depth of Rengoku, or not at the end, at the beginning of it.
In the beginning.
That was a whole nother depth of Rengoku that you didn't see in the movie. So I feel like they are doing things right. Like they're giving people something to go to the movies for, but then they're like, yeah, but you went and saw the movie, but you want to watch it at home too. So that's different than any other anime series has really ever done. I mean, I'm a DBZ fan from back in the day, so like comparing it, I loved the DBZ movies, but I really didn't like that most of them didn't fit into the series. Like they were all outside the series, so it was like, how do I square up this battle with Garlic Jr. here when they're supposed and they go fight here and they didn't know him either place, but as Demon Slayer, you don't have to worry about that. The movies fit right in with it. They show you all the transitions. They give you a little bit before, maybe a little bit extra. This year, they gave people in the movies the last episode of last season and the first episode of the Hashira training arc. So, I don't know. I didn't go see it, but I don't know if there was anything extra in it. But I mean, that's still, I know people that were in the area where it was being shown that were like, yeah, I'm going to see that. As soon as I can go see some new Demon Slayer, I'll go pay my $10, whatever it is, to go see it in the theater. So they are successfully making money without the manga, which is something that is very hard for a lot of these. I mean, your authors are not getting the money they deserve because they'll make the manga and that's how they make their money. But then anything they make on the movies, that's a totally different thing. They make a cut, but even there, they take the original book, they give it to a screenwriter, and I mean, and you look at some of these movies, I feel like a lot of them are not doing that the proper way. And I'm going to point at one that we all like, Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I didn't like. I like Zero, but I mean, I don't like the way that they handled a lot of the business in the background. Although I guess that we can say that about MAPPA in general. Ufotable is doing things right, and MAPPA needs to look at how Ufotable is doing them so that they can maybe take from that playbook, because they're making money hand over fist. They still got Demon Slayer coming out, and I mean that shit was over in 2020. It started in 2016. I mean, and like they know how to do it. They're still has everyone excited about it. They're dropping movies. People are going to see them. I mean, Demon Slayer is good, but like I said, I think that we all saw in the last season that there were unfinished episodes and animations that went on that we're not having that with Demon Slayer.
Right.
They have their people get it done. They know how to run their company. I may not like every bit of animation that they do.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing, and they've done it. Yeah, I'm going to keep going on about the dance. But no, for real though, they really have handled the show well and done things differently than other people have done, and I think it's done well for them overall.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere when it comes to like giving their employees, their animators, ample enough time to rest in between, so they're just not continually picking up and doing things. They're real selective with the projects that they sign on to animate. And I think that's Mappa's biggest issue is Mappa's just like, they're more for quantity over quality. Although I will say Mappa is no slouch when it comes to their animation. You got, I think, the last season or the first three. I know Attack on Titan, the first 3 seasons were one company, and then another season picked up the last company. But JJK's out here. I think they also had Dororo over on Amazon. They got a couple of projects where I'm just like, man, this is beautifully done. But when you read and you get into it, like I'm not on the level that Kenpachi's at, but I dabble and I follow a couple things and I read something and I'm just like, man, that's just not right. Like, you fear for animes that run into issues with companies that burn their employees out. We look at a series everybody was excited about the first season, 7 Deadly Sins. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna get behind this. This is amazing. And then they're just crunching these people, and then all of a sudden, anime, you're just like, is this the same? Is this the same show I was watching? Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, completely different animation companies for that last season.
Yeah, and oh my god! But you read stories like, much like it is with the video game industry, the crunch, and they're just turning projects out, turning them out. And in Japan, like these people, they take very good pride in their work, and when the work is bad, some people go to the extreme and take their lives and things like that. And these companies are like, man, that's crazy. Let's get the next episode out next week. So like Kenpachi said, Ufotable, great job. And also, I'll hand it over to you, Deontay, after this. Have you seen an adaptation where it's almost like the pages of the manga come to life? Like literally, like there are some shots in the anime that are frame by frame from the manga, but it's better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a part of that comes from like the power system that Gotoge had set up for this series, because it's just like uh there's not every demon slayer has the breathing abilities, or at least the breathing sword techniques. But the characters who do, there's been like articles about it being strictly aesthetics, and they're not like swinging fire at people actually to cut a demon's head off. But either way, the aesthetics look beautiful in the manga. The aesthetics look beautiful in the anime. Tanjiro started the series out as someone who could do water breathing, and then eventually he moves on to what he's doing now with I guess you could call it like the sun breathing, and he's been able to swing fire at demons' heads and decapitate them, because that's the only way to put the demons down. So these fights, they are high stakes. If Tanjiro or any of the demon slayers get caught lacking, the demons will put a hole in them. And there's some situations where just like you got to call for help and have a Hashira on standby, because the main antagonist, Muzan, has this group of demons called the 12 Kibutsuki, the upper moons. And then Tanjiro back in the day, him and his 2 buddies, they struggled with the lower moons getting those 1v1s in. And then now they're taking on upper moons currently in the anime. And it's just like, man, they have to just keep leveling up. They have to perform their sword breathing techniques even better. So I think Ufotable is like following along with the manga a little bit and said, if their fights went hard in the manga, the fights got to go even harder in the anime. And we all saw what happened in an Entertainment District arc with the Sound Hashira.
Oh,
God, these fights are nothing to sleep on.
That should have been in theaters, bro.
Yeah,
that fight should have been in theaters. The shout out to my dude. Like, like we're talking about the anime. So Kenpachi talked about the movie, and he brought that up when it came to the emotional part, because you do see these 3 bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kids. They did go through at the time what I thought was one of the best arcs to show growth in their powers. The mountain arc where they fight Rui and his spider family. Probably the that scene, and this may spoil, but this has been out for a while. The scene where Tanjiro gets his sword cut and he feels immensely underpowered because he's fighting a lower moon at this point. So at this time, if you're following the story, you're like, bro, this is the strongest enemy he's ever faced. Like, this is one of the dudes with the, you know, the
Spider
cat on the eye and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, his webs, like he can't cut through them. Like, he's fucked. Like, as an audience, we're like, he's fucked. But like you said, he thinks about his dad, and it all comes full circle. If you watch it, you kind of see how his dad plays into why the demons are like on the lookout for him, because they'll continue to say, hey, watch out for the kid with those earrings, because he's trouble. Like, he's the one that can give us trouble. But Tanjiro doesn't know. Tanjiro's just like, I'm trying to help my sister. His sword is broke. He thinks about his dad doing the dance, and his dad apparently is very skilled in the sun breathing, or the Hinokami Kagura. So that's all of a sudden you just start seeing Tanjiro go from what used to know him as the water breathing, start cutting through these webs and stuff with his cut sword, like a hilt, and probably like 3 inches of blade, chasing Rui through the woods. He gets caught up again. Nezuko finds out and taps into her demon blood art, and it's just this beautiful thing. And at the end of the show, when he's like, you can't cut my neck, and him and his sister team up, he's doing the slash, she uses the blood demon art, and it cuts through, and you see this beautiful ring of fire. Ufotable was just like, we're in our bag. The emotion, it flows right into the, we're not even talking about the music yet of Demon Slayer. You know, man. Like, I cannot explain. Me and my daughter are watching this, and we are both, it's a happy ending because he cuts the head off. We're in tears. We're just so emotionally moved. The bond between brother and sister, the determination of Tanjiro remembering his father. It was just all of the emotions all at once in a very beautiful scene. But I say all that to say this. That was amazing. The fight with Tenjin in the entertainment district.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Kenpachi, but I don't know if that is, I guess, like, we can go through and pick out what it's going to be tough. Our favorite moment of animation is in the series that we've seen so far. It's going to be tough for me to pick one out. But Kenpachi, if you had to choose,
not for me.
Oh, really? Oh, give it to us. Is it the fish?
Yeah. I fucking love them fish, man. No, honestly though, that season has the single best animation that I feel like they've had, and I won't remember the name of it, but and I don't want to give too much away, but it's when he does the flaming snake thing between several. That was, I was watching it and I'm like,
yeah.
all right, okay, fuck them fish.
Yeah. All right, Ufotable, you got me back. You won me back, Ufotable. Yeah.
All right. You needed this. You needed all of this to happen.
Right.
But I'm back.
And the awesome part about that is, like, when you read the manga, there's a frame where you see that exact scene. So, like, I'm watching it and then I see it with Ufotable's beautiful work, and I'm just like, reading the manga, there's no way in my mind I could envision it being that vibrant, that beautiful, and that amazing at the same time, you know?
Just to touch on that, because Facebook does these wonderful things for us. They, after that happened, I don't know if it was the next day or the next week, but they had I saw a post where they had the manga page right next to the anime, the last anime still, where he's zigzagging through them, and like it was very what's the word, surreal, seeing the page, and there was ink that's just black and white paper and ink, and then you look over at that and you're like, that's the same thing. Like they're exactly the same, even though there's no color on this one. When you look at it, you felt that color in it. You knew what it was supposed to be, and you felt that when you saw it. And then as I'm looking at it, but that was very like you said about the seeing a page in anime come to life. I couldn't think of one, but then as you're sitting here talking about it, that absolutely did look exactly from one page to the screen. It was a perfect adaptation for that. I mean, like I said, I haven't read the manga, so I can't say the entire thing is a perfect adaptation, but at least that one scene absolutely was.
Yeah, there's some moments where we're just getting like icing and extra ice cream added to the cake, because it's just like it's like we were spoiled with Zenitsu's moment. Like he fought, his whole moment of where he just passes out, goes unconscious, and then loses his fucking mind on every demon that he comes across, and it's just like, man, why are they treating us so good with this anime?
I forgot about that scene where he's asleep and the spider's like, he has the toxin and he's about to turn, but the spider was just like, man, you keep doing the same move. And you go to flashback and see that his master was just like, bro, if you just master this one thing, like these other moves aren't even going to work. And he did the thing where there was a thunderclap flash or something. He just boom, boom, boom. And then he bounces up the cap, and you see his silhouette up with the sun or the moon in the background. I'm just like, you photable, stop it, man. Like
crazy.
Every episode, I'm just like, Jesus.
When he first did that, they gave me goosebumps for real.
Oh, in the house that was, oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
That's the power.
Yeah.
That's his power. But yeah, so like we talked about, this thing is going gangbusters. Movie, Kenpachi gave you the stats. Best movie out. I think if I even look at opening weekend, I don't know what other movies it was competing against. Granted, it was during COVID, but for the amount of money that it made in the theaters in the States, I think that's when people like the resurgence kind of happened with anime over here in the States. Because now you go buy a Hot Topic or anything like that, or you go to the graphic tee section over in Target or Walmart or something. There's, you got the Naruto shirts over there now. You got the Demon Slayer shirts there now. You got the JK shirts. So it's picking up, which I love. I like to have that stuff available for me when I go shop. But off the bat in 2019, it won Best Animated Series, the Crunchyroll. Like, I know we've talked about the different anime award shows ran by different things. I wish there was some way to just combine them all and just have a number one.
Like a one massive like Grammy night.
Yeah, but I think across the board for a lot of these award shows, Demon Slayer was like just taking everything. You know what I'm saying? I know recently the Swordsmith Village arc won 3 awards for best animation, best story, and everything from Deadline Anime Awards, Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It won the prestigious Anime of the Year award along with a total of 11. This is Crunchyroll Anime 2024, which if I'm this may be wrong because I think I watched that one. I thought JJK season 2 got it best anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say the beginning of this year. That's what I thought. It was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, there was.
Got it.
So
there's at least 2 award shows where JJK took home Anime of the Year twice, I believe, and then it's been like One Piece, Mushoku Tensei, and Demon Slayer ever since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of been those three just dominating the whichever one is dropping and running right now. So JJK's on a break. Demon Slayer's about to come in here and run away with awards this year. And if it does win awards this year, it'll be crazy because this is only going to have 8 episodes this season. If you read the manga, you know this isn't the most exciting arc, right? But I think next season is supposed to be the final season, and that arc is gonna be emotional as well. So we'll leave it at that. But before we move to our next segment, which I'm glad Kenpachi's here because like he said, he watches a lot of stuff. So what we're gonna try to do here on Eat the Cake Anime is after we move from this portion onto the next, we'll have Kenpachi kind of tell you a show that's on the come up, something that's caught his eye. He wants you guys to check out. But before we leave, favorite moment of the anime so far. Deontay, go.
Man, I got some favorites too. There's a lot of comedy in this series too. I can't remember like some of like the top funniest moments, but there's like moments of just like total sadness, and then there's moments of like absolute hype. And it's hard to pick like out of those 3 categories that I had myself. But overall, my favorite Hashira is the sound Hashira, and the entertainment district was my favorite arc outside of Infinity Castle for the whole series. And I would say seeing him come to life and go full on Dragon Ball Z against a upper moon demon was probably definitely the highlight of my life. So and then I will say watching the Love Hashira go crazy in Swordsmith Village arc was my top 2. Because people, they look at her, she's just like waifu and all that. Yeah, but she's also crazy enough to fuck everybody up with a blade. So just watch how you treat her.
She's still waifu, man. Like there was a lot of people who were mad at her original suitor, who was just like, I can't marry you, you too big or something like that. You know, everybody's just like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, you wouldn't even have to beg me, man. Like, it'd be me and Mitsu, you know what I'm saying? Like for life. Kenpachi, for life. Kenpachi, where are you at? Like, favorite animated moment so far?
Okay, so I like I said, the fire dragon thing that he did, that was as far as the best animated thing in the series so far. But if I had to choose like a moment that like this moment stands out to me more than any other moment, pretty much since, remember, I'm anime only. Since the anime started, the moment that has stood out to me the most. In fact, I've watched it. I think I've watched that moment. I watched it 3 or 4 times the first time, and probably more than a dozen altogether. And I think it's season 2, but it's when Tanjiro is in the city and he smells Muzan and he finds him, and he's like, and the thing is that you can tell from watching this series, Muzan is on top of his shit.
Yeah.
That dude knows. He knows what's going on. He is telling all these people what to do, but he knows. You know what he didn't know? That was Tanjiro.
Man.
Right there. I don't know if everyone caught that, but he basically snuck up on the most all-knowing being on the planet.
And Tanjiro could have killed him.
And when he looked at it, that dude, first off, wasn't that dude like with his human family? Okay. He looks down at Tanjiro and instantly recognizes him. Instantly knows he's a demon slayer. And I'm going to tell you, I think he recognized the mark on Tanjiro's head right then. As far as I know, like in the anime, they've never talked about it, but he knew about that mark when he saw Tanjiro because, and like again, are we spoiling things?
How far are we going?
Because I'm just gonna say that like I am notoriously someone that spoils myself and reads like Wikipedia and shit, and I know that there's a fucking demon with that mark. And I believe that demon is the brother of a past demon slayer. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I'm just saying he knew that motherfucking mark. He saw that mark and was like, "Bitch, please," and he got the fuck out.
Yeah.
He was not fighting that mark. He was like, "I can probably and walked away fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The combination of the mark and the earrings, I think that's the thing that got Muzan shook. He was just like
snuck up on him.
I don't know this dude. He may or may not have the ability to do it. Last time I saw somebody looking like this, they had the ability to do it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get myself together, if you will.
I'm out.
I will say, because I'm a sucker for the animation, but when you throw in the emotional aspect of it, I would say the fight between Rengoku and what's his name?
Akaza.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh,
that would have been number 2.
I was in the theaters. Well, first time I saw it, I saw it bootlegged. I'm sorry, but I did go see it twice in the theater. I saw it bootleg because I had COVID and I'm at home. Let me tell you, like that scene, that fight brought me out of my COVID slump. I sat up on the couch. I was jumping up and down. I was rooting. And here's the crazy part. I read the manga, so I knew how it ended. But I still was rooting for my man Rengoku. The determination, like I'm a sucker for that shit, bro. Against all odds. I know I am at a disadvantage, but I will not let you bring harm to these kids back here behind me. And this dude is just like, bro, you're too weak. Just be a demon. We can fight. He's like, nope, that's not how I'm built. He went all out for that final attack. And I knew he lost the fight. I was just like, yes. And then when he did, and I was just like, no. And like you said, Kenpachi, Tanjiro was crying, Zenitsu's crying. Well, he cries all the time. But when you saw Inosuke cry, when you saw Inosuke cry through the mask, oh my god.
Man.
That man was like, come back and fight me, you coward. You're the one always. I'm just like, Tanjiro, let him know. Let him know, Tanjiro. But he was like, humans will be here, we'll continue to fight. I'm like, I'm a sucker for this stuff.
You get teary-eyed now, man.
Then Lisa starts singing her song at the end of the movie and all that stuff. And I'm just like, oh my god. Shout out to Lisa, by the way. So that's pretty much Demon Slayer. We kind of, gave a quick synopsis of it. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been at. Even the most casual people, my wife keeps up with it. That's how popular it is. She does not fuck with anime at all. So she's just like, Demon Slayer's on, that's what we watch. But Kenpachi, you ready to put the folks on a up and coming anime?
I'm ready to put the smackdown on it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sit back while Kenpachi tells you what to put on your radar.
Okay, so starting this off, first off, I'm going to address something that you said a minute ago because, we're talking about new anime, and then you were talking about anime of the year for 2024 with, this Hosher training arc out. And I'm just going to throw it down like new anime that is going to tear that ass up. Dog, you got Freeland Journey's End out there. You got Shangri-La Frontier, okay?
Banger.
You
I'm
right?
just Solo Leveling,
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Ninja Kamui.
You're
Hey,
right.
Kamui.
you gonna say this boring ass Hashira arc? You called it boring. Is gonna take Anime of the Year. Wait a second, I forgot one, didn't I? What's that 1,000-year bullshit coming back? Bleach. Okay, like we got
Oh.
so many things out there that could be Anime of the Year. I'm not throwing my hat in any ring yet. Okay, because I'm not taking anything away from Ufotable and Demon Slayer. They may very well tear that ass up by the end of this series. But I'm just saying, there's some other heavyweight contenders out there. I said this, Deontay. I'll say this on air right now. Frieren is going to be the anime of the century. Okay, like you are going to look at this in 10 years and be like, now that's a motherfucking story right there, because that shit has all the action that Demon Slayer does. The animation is top notch. Man,
The
I
story is
cried.
gorgeous. The story is beautiful.
The story is amazing. The emotional journey that this elf is going through, taking these kids on the same journey that she took the heroes on 80 years before. It is just, it's beautiful and heart wrenching and endearing and adorable all in one. And there's comedy gold like Mimics, man. I've always loved Mimics, and now they even like Chinese finger puppets, man.
Yeah. you see Frieren.
Yeah.
What do you got to do to get her out? Push her in further. Okay, but on to the end. What I told you, I only got one anime I'm talking about as far as new anime, and I may mention a couple others. There's several other good ones out this season. My anime count has dropped real low, but returning anime, obviously, Mushoku Tensei is just tearing shit up this season. It is amazing. The story, I think I've already cried 3 times this season in that. Like,
easily.
When he walked up to Roxy in that last episode, like, oh my God, my heart melted, man. Like, just like, oh. All right, but now, Kaiju number 8. Okay, wow. If you have not watched this, it is doing that same thing that I was just talking about with Frieren. It is very endearing. The comedy gold. Okay, the Kafka, the main character, Kafka Hibino. He is he's that guy in high school that went on and got a job at the fast food restaurant, and now he's working cleanup. But when he was in grade school, him and this homegirl of his were talking about they was gonna run shit. She is running shit.
Big time.
He is picking up trash. Her trash, in fact. Okay? Yep. But because of Reno Itaki, I'm gonna roll down here to get it. Ichikawa. Reno Ichikawa comes in, and him and Reno and Kafka, they become like a pair. They decide they're going to leave the disposal unit and go get on the defense unit. And that was Reno's goal, and he invigorates Kafka's goal, and he's like, I'm going to catch up with Mina, and his friend from high school or grade school or whatever. And so he goes in to go do this, and while they're cleaning up on the last one, he gets hurt, and they're in the hospital, and this damn bug kaiju flies down his throat and makes him able to turn into a kaiju. And it goes from there. He is the old dude at the club. Like, he just is. Everybody, like, his nickname is, hey, old dude. That's what everyone says to him.
And he's the same age as me.
I'm not sure if that's what they're saying in the subbed version, because I've been watching the dubbed version with my son. He said he wanted to watch it, and I just absolutely was on board. I've actually been planning to read this manga. I have not started yet, but it's another one that I've heard about for years, how good the manga was. Like, it is another one that it is breaking records for as big as it's gotten this quick. But I love it. The song before it is by a group called Youngblood, and I love that song. And then the song at the end by One Republic, Nobody.
Yeah.
I like them both. Like, I get them stuck in my head, and the whole time, like, I start the episode and Holden's like, "Hey, why don't you skip through the opening thing?" And I'm like, "Hey, why don't you piss off?" He's 15. We talk to each other like we're playing video games against 40-year-old men, okay? And drunk sailor 40-year-old men at that. Like,
hey.
Yeah.
He's 15, but he has the mouth of a colorful lesbian. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I honestly don't care. I've heard a lot of people that their kids get on there and talk shit to people, and you know what my son's doing? He's yelling at kids about saying hateful shit, and he says, "Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not proud of this one, but he says." It's always somebody saying some word, whether it's dropping the N-bomb or, faggot, or, one of these hurtful, derogatory terms. And he's like, yeah, well, your mother doesn't love you. And I'm like, what? He's like,
damn.
Look at this game and your parents wish you would die. Wow. He didn't drop the N-bomb, so I'm cool with that. But no, man, for real, like, he is very, like, social conscious. Like, he would rather, he finds the person that's in the group starting shit, and he starts shit with that guy. So I'm like, I can't be mad at him for it. He sticks up for all the little guys that can't do good, and he's apparently really good at games. So, go do what you're doing. But yeah, he wants to be in this defense force, I think, with these guys and go shooting some kaiju. So after he gets his kaiju, it seems like it jumps a little bit, and he's learned how to control his transformations slightly. Like,
Right.
he still has a slip up every now and again. And they go to join the defense force. I don't know. Are you guys both caught up with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm wondering if there is, like, something about his kaiju form that makes it not work with those suits. And that's why he can't get any more than, like, 1% out of them. I don't know, but I find that just hilarious that he can't. He's an actual kaiju, but he can't get the kaiju built suit, the suit made out of kaiju crap, to work. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because with regular humans, it draws out like a huge percentage of their powers, especially the stronger they get. And there's like 2 female characters in this series. Mina, who's like the most dangerous person in the entire defense.
Shooting nukes, fucking cannon sniper rifle. Like,
yeah, wow, that thing is badass.
Yeah, with a white tiger assisting her and killing kaiju. Who's like, what the hell? And then they have another female character. I forgot her name already, but she's the blonde.
Kikoru? Her name is Kikoru Shinomiya.
Yeah, she's the daughter of. Yeah, she's the daughter of the president of the Defense Force. And man, she could solo so many kaiju by herself. And there's at some point in the series, Kafka's going to end up saving both of them. And actually, in the anime, he already has saved Shinomiya.
Shinomiya.
And he's essentially, people draw comparisons to him and Saitama from One Punch Man, because Kaiju number 8, his kaiju is so powerful that the only thing that's going to be able to see him is other like hybrid kaijus just like him. And he's about to get a 1v1 right now with another one just like him. They named him number 9. And those fights are going to break the internet. He's got number 10 and 11 to go after. And I swear this
was that number 10 swooping down
with
the previous episode? Like he was,
yes,
because he was chilling, bro. I'm just like, bro, it's about to be trouble, but I'm here for it. I will say the fight, the 8 and 9, their little skirmish was up there. But let's talk about this vice captain.
Oh man!
Wow! Yes,
powerhouse.
I love that. Like, he is absolutely going to be my favorite character in the whole thing. That is for sure. And his name is
Soshiro.
Soshiro Hoshina. Hoshina. Yeah, he is badass. I love the blades.
He was like, yeah, she's better with the bigger ones, but I'm better with the smaller. He pulled them blades out, and I'm just like, hey man, you might want to get out of here, bro. This ain't what you want.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome, the way he was breaking down the fight, and he was looking at the way that Kaiju number 8 was moving. And just the strategic mindset of his that he's looking at, he's like, he could have killed me several times, but his goal in the way his movements were is he was trying to get away from me.
Right.
He was never trying to fight me seriously, because if he would have, he could have taken me out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have just broken my blade.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Muscle memory when he was back at the gym replaying the fight.
Oh man,
I was just like, this man is next level. Like, I see why you're the vice captain now.
Yeah. two of the top animals in that entire defense force. It's just like Jesus. And their feats get crazier as they progress in the story. Yep. I actually love it. Between Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, and well, not so much Jujutsu Kaisen anymore, but Kaiju number 8 for sure. All incredible source material. Out of all of those I just listed, Kaiju number 8 is the funniest. So if you like straight up, even better than One Punch Man comedy, like Kaiju number 8 is good. Lots of fights, incredible fights, and the characters, you really get to understand them and you get to know them a lot better too throughout the story. So really good storytelling.
Kenpachi, I mean, let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, I stand corrected. Kenpachi came out and hit me with a 10-piece combo of other anime that could not only get best new anime, but also best anime of 2024. Yeah, I stand corrected. That's why I say bow down. You see it. You see it right here. Anime Guru. He's not playing with you, ladies and gentlemen. He's that guy.
Now, but just so you know, I'm not saying you were wrong. There's a lot on the plate this year. There was some really good shit that came out. I was blown away. So I think that Demon Slayer is awesome. It could still do it, but man, there's so much good stuff out there.
I'll say if it does win, it'll just be based off the fame, the name, just like I feel honestly, I don't think JJK should have got top anime season 2 of last year. Best animation maybe, best action scenes maybe, But best overall anime, I don't think JJK season 2 should have got it. And I knew Crunchyroll was going to give it to him anyway.
Honestly,
Crunchyroll's like the Academy Awards. It's just like, you're just going to give it to what's popular at this point.
I love Crunchyroll, but thank you very much. The thing about their anime awards is just that they only review the anime that they have, which
that's on their net. Okay,
that's on their networks, which means that makes sense, but at the same time, then that cuts out anything that's on anybody else. So you lose anime that could be in the running. Things that were out last year, like Blue Eyed Samurai, which actually other people argue that it's not anime, but whether it was or not, that could have been in the running. Things like Goodbye World, that was on Netflix, and Pluto. If you guys have not watched Pluto, oh my gosh, it's only 8 episodes long. They're hour-long episodes, but you're talking a very adult, emotion-driven anime that is a mystery, like serial killer, like murder mystery. Thank you. It was amazing. Like, it was so good. And I'm going to be honest, I think that might be the only anime, movie, TV series, anything that has actually had a twist in it that I didn't get until the very end when they showed it to you. Like, the very last episode, I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm going to tell you, when it did, I just started bawling, and the emotions, like I said, emotionally driven, and then to know that this is an emotionally driven murder mystery that is a remake of an Astro Boy story arc.
Really?
From the 1960s.
Astro Boys.
This is on Netflix?
Yes, sir.
Pluto?
Yes, sir.
I will add it to the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, I think I even said it to you, Deontay. Like, I'm not sure whether I would have put Shangri-La Frontier and Frieren in last year's or this year's anime, because they both went 2 seasons, the last season of last year and the first season of this year, and they were both 2 seasons long. So they could be, last year or this year, but Pluto was last year, and man, animation was great. Like, it wasn't, it did not slip in any step. There's no comedy in it. Okay. You will not laugh a single time, except for right now, me telling you this, but it was really, really, really good. Almost borderline horror. Seriously, like, there's it misses being a horror by just a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. As far as something that I watched like all of last year, that is what I would have picked. It was on our list for war. But there was so much that I had watched at the time that I hadn't really digested it all. And looking back at it, like, yeah, it definitely should have been higher in the list than it was.
Awesome. So, well, not only did he give you a shining review of Kaiju number 8, which you should go check out. He dropped Pluto. He dropped numerous other ones. So hopefully you've been taking notes, writing them down. If not, just rewatch this segment, write them down, add them to your list, and maybe one day you'll be as knowledgeable on anime as my man Kenpachi here. But let's go ahead and go back to our regularly scheduled program and wrap this show up. Let me find. Oh, here we go. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I think episode 1 was a success. I had a good time, at least.
Yes, Lord.
Talking to you guys
Definitely.
about it. I like I said, this was something that I was always trying to work and plan, and it kind of fell off. And I saw you guys doing your war. Like I would try to tune in when I can, but I'm just like, man, I just want to jump. Like I'll be at work. I'm like, I want to jump in and talk anime too. Like I just like that'll never not be something that I enjoy doing. Because I think Jen said it in the comments. The emotions that it can pull from you. Like we were talking some of the scenes from Demon Slayer. Like there's lighthearted moments, moments where you're elated, moments when you're just dejected, sad, and all the above. And Kenpachi dropped a couple of I mean, you got things like Death Note out there, that if you're just like crime drama and who did it and the twists and turns and like a Sherlock in a Moriarty, it's you. There's so many genres. Like it's just not the shonen and it's just not the hentai. I know a lot of people joke like, "Oh, you watch hentai? You like tentacle monsters?" And like it's not like
Yes.
if you listen to,
I like other stuff too.
but like if you listen to anything we say, man, at all, you may not watch anime, but I guarantee you, if you tell somebody who watches anime the kind of shows you like watching, we can probably put you on an anime that you're gonna love.
Absolutely.
You guys agree?
Oh, without a doubt.
100%.
All
Even
right.
like the new one, Delicious in Dungeon. That's the cooking.
Oh,
the cooking network. You go watch Delicious in Dungeon.
That's guaranteed. I mean, you guaranteed to be an upcoming episode. That show right there.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
D&D and food porn.
Food porn.
Before we leave, I mean, yeah, there's guilty pleasure ones. High School D&D.
Oh man.
What is it? High School of the Dead. I mean, there's like I'm watching it for the action. I swear to God, I promise I'm watching it for the action.
High School of the Dead is what actually turned me off from fan service in anime. I love it,
right,
at points, but it's like it just
it's over the sniper shot. I was just
that's
like,
exactly
what?
Like you hugging her boob, boing boing.
That shit never happens to us.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you can probably just Google that one scene. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But is there anything you wanna tell the people before we call it a night, gentlemen?
Go ahead.
Warzone Wednesdays, we'll be back again. If you guys want to watch some Call of Duty throwdowns, myself, Raiden Hayes, J Gaming, Emperor will be there. But occasionally we can get Blake Hickman on the roster too. So we just been in there just slaying it out with people and talking shit on proximity chat. The usual Call of Duty lifestyle. So next Wednesday, so keep an eye on the Saturday Night Nerds Facebook group. Where all the announcements will be made with like specific timing and dates and all that. So
awesome. What you got, Kenpachi?
For me, all I want to talk about is like y'all come see us on Saturdays if you're in Cape Girardeau. We're down at the Riverfront Market, Black Cap Soaps and Sundries. We do all your nerdy anime gaming soaps, plus we got other just regular bars of soap, but we like to make soap fun. So good beard oils, lots of stuff. So, but down there every Saturday at the market, and got the best donuts in town down there too. The Amish ladies.
I will say the products that he's talking about. He sent a basket up this way. We paid for it. I got to get a reorder. The pumice cubes for my feet, bro. Let me tell you, I ain't trying to turn the kids away, but my feet are something serious, right? Those cubes got me right. Then doing the gym, he sent a solve to kind of use when I do the massages and stuff. Works well. Had me smelling delicious. My wife tested that. So with the or I think it was like a blueberry. I forget what the combo was, but I was like, oh, this smells good. All natural ingredients. Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's the
So
arnica salve.
if I wanted to, could I have eaten said blueberry salt?
I would say that it's definitely not going to taste good, but all of the products in it are edible. The biggest thing is that there's, in the arnica salve there's wax, so you probably wouldn't want to swallow the wax. But the like arnica is a flower, and you put it in some oil, and you make a tincture sucking the nutrients out of the flower, and then she mixes in some other oils, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil. It's stuff that's good for your skin.
Ooh,
and then puts it in the beeswax and puts lavender essential oil that she uses to make the good smell. And lavender essential oil also is for aromatherapy. It helps calm you.
Yeah.
So while you're rubbing the salve on, you're also getting that lavender up in there and relaxing, and so it helps relax your muscles.
Y'all over there legit making potions and stuff. It's like a mage over there. You're over there just like a
well, we did call it Black Cat Apothecary at first
for a reason. Yeah.
But they changed the year after we started the business. They started a law that says if you call yourself an apothecary, you have to have a licensed pharmacist on staff.
Well,
we're not there yet.
Awesome. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll
thank you for the compliment.
No. When we post the video, or get it out there, I'll make sure to in the description to add the link to the shop there. Same thing, a link to the Saturday Night Nerds not only group but also to their Twitch. So, like I said, man, we're trying to get everybody out there, and like this show wouldn't be possible without these two. So I got to thank them for coming by again, and thank you for making this a reality. You know what I'm saying? I tried to tidy up around here, put some good videos and stuff out there, and I
like the background.
I like. Hey, thank you again. It's a group effort, and they really make it work. So thank you guys, and if that is all we got, we can go ahead and call it a show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know right now. We were talking before the show, and this isn't on a routine schedule. This is something that we will continue to coordinate in the background, and when we all have some good time, coordinate what we want to talk about, do our research and stuff, we'll come back and we'll make the announcement in the ads and stuff and let you know. But so just don't be like, hey, it's Thursday again, where's Eat the Cake? Like, we'll let you know when we're coming back, but right now we're just taking it easy, having a good time talking about anime, and I'm having a blast with it after one episode. So signing off for my man Kenpachi, the anime guru, and Deontay the Giant.
Yes, sir.
From Saturday Night Nerds. This has been Eat the Cake Anime. You guys have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Night.
Yes, sir.